Hello everyone, this is Riddhi Sutere and today we are discussing this problem, that is can place flowers. So this is a very simple problem. Let's read the problem description and let's find out why. So obviously you can pause the video and read the description, but since I've already read this description, so me give you the brief about it. So the problem says that you are given with this flower bed wherein it contains only zeros and one. Each occupied place is occupied, it's represented by one, and it's each unoccupied position is represented by 0, right? And you are also given with some number of flowers like which is represented by n, and you have to return that if you are able to put these flowers into these flower bed without violating the given condition. The condition is that you cannot place flowers into adjacent plots, right? So in this example you are given with this flower bed and you have one flower to plant. So obviously you can plant this flower at this position because you won't be having any adjacent planted flower in this case, right? So you will return true in this case. Again, in the next example you can see that you have two flowers to plant at this arrangement now. So you can place one flower here, but there is no possible way wherein you can place the next flower without violating the given condition, right? So you will return false for that, right? So I hope I have made this description clear to you guys. Now let's jump into the whiteboard and let's see what all can we do with this. So before going further with the explanation, I have took another example, another bigger example, so that you are able to get a good hold into this situation. Also, previously what we are doing is we were solving this problem with intuitive way. Now we will look a step-by-step solution or step-by-step way of how will we going to, how will we will tackle this situation. So the very obvious thing is that we will traverse this flower bed array from the starting position, and we will only look, or we will only take interest into those conditions wherein we have 0 at the current index. Why? Because we only have to place flower at those indexes, and going into that index, then we will check for further conditions like if its previous or its next is unoccupied or not, right? So this is the standard way of tackling this problem. Now there are obviously some more things to that, like one obvious thing is that when we are at the 0th index, we have to handle this condition that previous of 0 will be correct to go, will be a good place to go. So we will, if we are at 0 and if we are at the current 0th index and if we have to check for its previous position, so we will always return 0 for that. Why? Because nothing is planted before 0, right? Similarly, when we are at the last index and when we look for its next index, so in this situation we will also return 0 because nothing is planted after that. So this is the edge cases that we need to keep in our mind. Also, while going at each index, we when we plant a flower, we have to take account that how many flowers have been planted till now. So for that we will take count into consideration as well. So our standard step will be we go at each step, we will check that if it is 0, if it is 0 or not. If it is 0, then we will take two values, that is next and previous. We will find out its value, like we will for the next position we will obviously go at the I plus 1, and we will check if I plus 1 is 0 or not. Similarly, for previous we will go at I minus 1 and we will check if it is 0 or not. And obviously we will keep in our mind that about these edge cases, right? And if the conditions satisfy, we will plant one flower here, so we'll replace this one here, but obviously we cannot place a flower here, so we will skip this position. We will move to the next step again, and at this step you can see that we can place a flower, right? So we will represent, or we will change it to 1, and simultaneously what we will do is we will increment the count, right? And after we are done with this loop, what we will do is we will simply check if our count value is greater than or equal to n or not. If this is the case, that means we have successfully planted the given number of flowers, and we will return true for that, else we will return false, right? So this was the whole simple solution or simple algorithm that how we will proceed with this question. Now let's look at the code and let's see what all we have done here. So it is simple, clear, simple representation or clear, simple code of the algorithm that I've told you, that we have in this situation, we have started a loop from 0 till the length of the flower bed, and we will handle this case that if the current position is 0 or not. And simply, first of all, we'll gather its previous value, and then we will gather its next value, right? So this is simply ternary operator that I've already explained you in the previous many of the question, that how we define this. So this is the way of getting or handling the edge cases, right? Now, simply if previous and next are 0, only then we will plant a flower at the current position, and we will increment the count in this case as well. And after this whole loop get over, we will check that if count's value is greater than or equals to n or not. If this is true, then we will return true. Else, if this is false, we will return false for that. So this was the simple thing. Now let's run the code and let's see if it passes the test cases or not. So yes, it passes the test cases. So this was the explanation. I hope you have liked this explanation, and if you like the explanation, you can like the video, and additionally you can subscribe to the channel as well. So that's all for today. Thank you.